Tervedi Skaikile to the round table rumble, everybody. This was some finish for you.
That was pretty good.
My name is Schwarzkilz, and of course I'm joined by Natrost. We are playing the final bracket today. And you didn't expect me, did you? But I'm on commentary for the first block.
That is true. A surprise last-minute jump-in, a last-minute addition. And speaking of surprise additions, this is one of our players stepping up right now. All right?
Hell yeah.
Not to dive in head first, but I want to get talking about Dragon. All right, because this is a very interesting story and a very, very clutch player.
Yeah, let's not drag this on any longer. Let's talk about the guy.
Are you proud of yourself?
I am very proud of myself. Yes.
Excellent. So, there you go. Are you sure we can't get A Fresh in? I've got some paracetamol in my bag. Seriously. All right, that's fine. But honestly, I'm very excited to see it. So, our first match of the day. Of course, we're going to have some very, very serious clashes. All right, it's what's been quite nice about seeing the last chance qualifier into today, in that we're seeing a lot of players that we haven't actually been able to experience yesterday. We've got a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a taste
Sure.
some of the doubles
and
such
show
like
matches too.
Yeah, some of the show matches. But for now, we're getting right into the bracket. And this bracket, it's very slithery, very cold-blooded, if you know what I mean.
Oh, very true, actually. Yes, there's a lot of split tongues as well, you know.
Yep,
some hissing going on.
Absolutely. This bracket is chock full of snakes.
You could say it's quite toxic as well.
I could say that. We could. Anywho.
I think we have like 3 snakes, if I
believe it's 4
correctly.
snakes at the very least.
Might be even 4 because PK is in now as well. Yeah.
Yep. PK and KP.
And KP. And Bejay and Dragon, so it's 4 snakes, I believe.
Which, you know, if you've been following along at home, you can now tell what you are in for. It is going to be a snake ditto to start off the day, all right? We don't need no cold showers to wake you up, all right? This is building discipline on its own.
Yeah. And from what I can gather, or at least see on the players' screen now, it seems like we're getting right back into it. Might be a little bit of a button check. Oh, they might. No, they're going right back in. All right, so first match of the day. Winners for round, of course, here, best of 5 all the way. It's got to be Bejay from the Netherlands against Dragon, who made a miracle losers run yesterday to get to this point. We kind of got off track talking about him, but this guy has been putting in the work.
Seriously has. Bejay, of course, already well established, but Dragon coming in from yesterday. Winners round 1 was a DQ, did not get to play, immediately lost to Tande in winners round 2, and then ran through every single game, clutching out a qualifying spot, and now he's here to make himself known as he takes on one of the most notable snakes we have here, Bejay.
Oh, for sure. He had an absolutely clutch performance yesterday in his final match as well. 3-2 last hit, last stock against Leafia as well, and now he's here to fight one of his, colleagues, basically, here in Bejay from the Netherlands. And Bejay, of course, one of the best players from the Netherlands as well, being one of the invitees and is going to be the one who's going to take the first stock of this Invitational here as well.
Exactly. This is a very interesting matchup in the sense that Snake is a very multifaceted character. You know, typically you have, quite standard ways you should be playing, as in, playing at that long range and then, recovering high, that sort of thing. But Snake is very good at punishing his own nonsense in a sense that you see how these guys have been playing so far. It's like, let's throw grenades. We're basically playing tennis, all right? But you're playing with 4 balls instead of 1. Then you're going to sort of feel out what's going on. As soon as one gets an advantage, suddenly you can start punishing Snake's quote-unquote disadvantage very easily, We've just seen, obviously, Bejay knows how Dragon is going to recover. He's a Snake man himself, and so when you go for that high recovery air dodge into the ground, he can just wait with that up tilt in hand. Killed very, very early. Took a very easy advantage. That advantage is still going. Yeah,
it's still going because you can see that Dragon has already eaten another 120 right there, as Bejay is still holding on. Of course, that's something you can do. Gets the forward air spike, actually doesn't even kill, even without the tech on the ground. And now it's right back to the grenade dodgeball right now.
So he is going to trade a couple of tilts as looks like Dragon going a little bit high there, but eats his own grenade. Going to see if he can find a kill there. Unfortunately, that drop down, that was very crisp and very clean. Bejay with a very, very clear lead right now.
Something, okay, there's Dragon just running in, of course, using the invincibility from the Angel platform. Just go in with the up tilt and get that stock as well. So at least getting himself on the board, I like it. But it's all about adaptation now. And the thing about Dittus is, right, that you play the same character, you know what the other player is looking for. But then, like, your difference in playstyle is really coming through, and this is what is the deciding factor. in this particular one here.
Yeah, it certainly is right now. Finally, looks like Dragon is able to find himself a bit of a foothold right now. Using the C4 very, very aggressively, but it's these dash attacks that he's really getting punished on. Obviously, it's a move that you'd really, really love to go for. You know, such a strong move, great cross-up potential, very, very, very safe.
With the Cypher? No,
but this is where it goes wrong. He went too far in. One dash attack, and it ended it all. Basically, every stock was Dragon pulling the trigger a bit too early, and Bejay having the patience to see it through.
Yeah. That that first kill flash almost looked like it was the Cypher killing at the very top, because Bejay was going up there as well with the Cypher, and it was either a grenade or a Cypher that almost took the last stock of Dragon. But instead, of course, it was the tried and true classic up tilt, you know.
It's beautiful stuff. It's beautiful stuff. And, you know, anyone who is familiar with, you know, basically any sort of group in this region, you know, Finland or Netherlands, even like going towards more like Norway, stuff like that. This place is full of snakes.
Yeah.
All right. And Dragon, a relatively newer player compared to Bejay, and so this is where that kind of wisdom and that experience comes in, because you can see Dragon will, you know, go for these aggressive options quite freely. Meanwhile, Bejay is more than happy to kind of play defensively. All right, play quite reactionary, and with a character that has such a focus on control as Snake, that could be really be the difference maker.
Yeah, definitely as well. The thing that really helps Bejay is I talked to him in the past, right? He loves camping, and he says like he likes camping, and I can see it as well. Like camping can be a really creative style as well, depending on how you do it. And so he has like the patience to out-camp a camper right now, right? Because Snake inherently has a relatively campy play style. So with Bejay loving the playstyle and playing around it, you can just deal with it. You know?
It's true. Look at this, man. They're just flinging stuff at each other.
Yep.
They're just playing Pong, man.
A very explosive Pong.
Very explosive Pong, indeed. And it's also like, it also just goes to, because Snake is a very mentally exhausting character.
Yes.
I think people, you know, I think he gets a bad rap for being like fairly one note when you have to keep track of so many active hitboxes. Has got to go for the bomb recovery, but unfortunately couldn't get the C4 off. Unfortunate SD from Dragon there, and it could be what seals it if he can't find a kill soon. But honestly, keeping track of 4 grenades where none of the grenades are clearly marked. Can be very they all have individual timers, man.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's 4 grenades. It's 2 C4s. It is 2 potential Nikitas. So that's like everything going on right now. And so as you said, like very mentally draining, you have to be aware of basically everything, but it's mostly the grenades and the C4 that's going to give you some trouble in the neutral right here. So you see one of them lying on the platform there as well. And I don't even know what C4 it is, like whose player it is. Like, who owns the C4?
Yeah.
Just like, I guess the players know, but it's kind of shows you how confusing this can get very quickly.
Yeah, I think they do have a slightly different usage. Obviously, they will mix it up again, but I think Bejay is more willing to hold his C4, and I think that is because, you know, Dragon's kind of saving it in a sense.
Yeah.
So Bejay's more than happy to hold it down, kind of like leave it on a platform to deny space, whereas Dragon's kind of more willing to get into disadvantage and use it as a way out. Obviously, we've seen Dragon's kind of descents be caught several times with up tilt, and so if he air dodges down and drops a C4, that does cover that option. So maybe he's playing a little bit defensive.
Interestingly enough as well, Dragon is the one who's holding the lead right now, making a really nice comeback as it looked kind of bleak the very first few seconds, but nice empty land into the up tilt there. Good timing mix up from Bejay to take that stock, and do not underestimate the survivability of Snake. This guy, he might be at 96, but he can live for a long time. And Dragon is the one who has to find the kills. Now he gets it with this stanky leg, and is going to secure himself a game and bring himself on the board.
What a turnaround, my goodness. That first game looks so decisive from Bejay, but Dragon, hey, that's the clutch factor.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't claw his way through losers on a whim, all right? He's got a little something in the back pocket, a little bit of gas in the tank.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes, because now both players are on the board, both players have shown that they can deal with each other. So now we get into the part where it's all about adaptation.
Certainly is. All right, let's get into this first bit of neutral. I'm curious if we are going to see the continuous grenade ping-pong going on. Back to PS2, which is a classic Snake stage.
Very
all right,
much so.
Nice bit of length. They are you can see him utilizing that length. All right. Bejay trying to find a way in. A little bit of a trade right there, but that's going to be on the receiving end for our buddy Bejay. All right, big damage onto them. And it's really hard to stun yourself in this matchup. Snake is a character that a lot of his moves kind of commit him to one place for a while, and most of the time he's more than happy to eat a grenade. You know, he's more than happy to take that. But when he's eating 4 grenades, then it's like, well, maybe, okay, I better, maybe now I got to worry.
Yeah, like you saw 3 grenades more or less next to each other on the left side coming towards Dragon. And you saw the down throw earlier as well. Like, you don't really have to, like, only you have to be normally cognizant about your own grenades, right? Messing up your throw confirms the thing. But now the enemies, they can also hold the grenade. And there's Nikita snipe there on the ledge as well. No mess up from Bejay on that one. Nicely placed just before the ledge to get that stuck off for Dragon.
It's beautiful stuff as Dragon now using his C4 a little bit differently, using it to hold down that neutral a little bit. Obviously, Bejay more than happy. Oh, double spot dodge, my goodness. Still able to mess it up with the grenade, make it back to the stage this time around. Bejay looking pretty healthy right now as the dash attack going to send him off. He's going to go nice and high.
Yeah, really has to do so as well. Like, Snake recovering low, especially a death sentence, especially against another Snake. Because you have something like the forward air spike if you want to be really fancy, but just actually, you know, camp them out with Nikita is probably enough if they recover low. But there's the snipe.
Oh, goes for the downer.
He uses the downer to get rid of the hitbox. Very important for a Dragon. That certainly would have taken the stock.
Absolutely. Nikita is absolutely flying right now. Oh, tries to go for the mix-up. Wanted to try and catch that air dodge. Instead goes for a little bit of a wiggle. Unfortunately, not going to do it this time. But great C4 shield poke. That's what I mean. You can use that to land, and it's very, very helpful, especially against your own kind, as sent out directly into the explosion.
Oh my god, it's all the launch angle shenanigans happening right now, but it's still Bejay. Kind of looking like the first game already here again. And at this point, I'm asking, could this potentially be a stage thing, even though we're playing the same character?
I was about to say the same thing there, Chores, as I do believe that top platform, it's really helping Dragon land, okay? I don't think Dragon has a bad disadvantage at all. However, I do think Bejay is very good at punishing Dragon's landing options, all right? Most of these kills are just weight up tilt.
Yeah.
And it sounds that simple, but hey, it's difficult to deal with, all right? Especially if you don't have that landing C4. So I think he really does need this third platform just to give himself a bit, you know, give himself a roof over his head. All right, the poor guy's cold. It's Finland. It was snowing outside,
It's Finland, yeah. We actually, like, it wasn't supposed to be snowing that much because it is quite warm, quote unquote, in Finland right now.
Quote unquote.
It is like it is white outside right now, and it's looking not quite as white for Dragon right now because he is maybe looking into the light very soon because there's the backer from Bejay, and that's going to be it indeed. 2 stock, 42% for Bejay in this third game, bring himself to match point right now.
Yeah, very, very similar to our first game. Bejay doing a fabulous job there. I really did like Dragon's recovery at the end there. You know, using PS2 to his advantage, he basically sort of like wedged himself underneath, using the top as like a massive shield from the Nikita and then slowly inched up. But Bejay, he's got a lot of tricks in his pocket, man.
So the question now is, are we going to go back to the battlefield here for Dragon? Or are we going to stick with the stages? In theory, it shouldn't make a difference, but there we see it actually, the battlefield is coming back. More or less seems to be Dragon's comfort, really.
Yeah, it seems to be it, as just a little bit of this neutral pair, filling each other out, all right? We always start with a bit of grenade toss, okay? And it's the thing is, like, neutral, like, advantage and disadvantage flip so heavily on a whim in this matchup that you don't really get much neutral.
Oh, is that a sticky on the head? It is actually. I think it is transferred over to Dragon right now as well. And now I just completely lost track where it is. Somewhere on the ground, it seems like, so it's all good right now. But for a very quick second, it was Bejay running over with a sticky right on his forehead. Looked really funny.
Excelente, as... Let's play that a little bit. All right, the dash attack going to call out any sense. It's what I mean, you know, Snake so willing to be solitary that he really can be caught out a lot of times by Snake's really unconventional burst options.
Yeah, and it's the thing as well. Not only do you have burst options, but you can just stay back as well with the grenades, as we said, you know, pulling in. But there's different ways you can pull them as well. You can place them defensively if you expect your opponent to run in with a dash attack, something like this, like you see Dragon doing right now. No grenade to defend Bejay this time round, has to use the air dodge as well to get around it, manages to do so. But there are many different ways to get these grenades to work defensively, offensively, somewhere in between, you know, as a combo tool, as a defensive measure. But there it is, Dragon slapping Bejay out to the side.
Great stuff from Dragon. This battlefield pick is already starting off pretty well. Obviously going to try and punish an aggressive option from Bejay, but as we know, Bejay's nice and patient, all right? Not in a rush, not in a hurry. Happy to take his time, and it seems to be working right now. It's 152 on our buddy Dragon right there. Still trading well.
Like a snake lurking for his prey right now. Bejay going at it. trying to just not rush at all, as you said, trying to take as safe as possible, and the C4 is going to provide the acquired range for him to make that safe kill and not go far behind at all. 32 and already 29 from Druganese, and there's more coming for Dragon. Nice double parry though to get rid of that potential trap from Bejay and to not take as much damage as he probably would have.
They're just playing King of the Hill right now, just fighting over that little platform. Looks like Bejay is going to be the one on top right now. Going to see, tries to read the roll with the up tilt, not quite going to do it. Would have been absolutely nasty, but definitely not dying anytime soon, our buddy Dragon. Okay, still looking very, very healthy. It's pretty even right now, but let's see if Bejay can push this advantage any further. There's a grenade on each side. There's no way out.
Yeah, you can neutral get up, I guess, but that sounds like an even worse idea for Dragon. He somehow got out like more or less unscathed, actually. Not sure how the man does it, but of course, both players definitely know what the other's looking for here. What a B reverse on that one as well, just the movement as well. No tech from Bejay is going to secure the lead for Dragon, but he has to hold it up, but he can't. The up tilt coming through right
well,
after.
He might have been holding up, I'll tell you that much, as looks like we are once again fighting over this little platform. All right, Dragon taking a very big opening L. All right, grenades all over the place. It is traps, it is trials, it is tribulations. Gotta pick your poison! But baby, what's more poisonous than Bejay's snake?
Beautiful spike with the 4, just goes for it, you know. At this point, you being this low, having the other player in the disadvantage, might as well just go for the big spike.
Exactly, good stuff. And you mentioned that earlier, you know, Snake having so many ways of punishing himself.
Yeah,
it's quite sad, just masochism, man.
Yeah, like, sounds kind of sad actually. Yeah, it's but you know, maybe it's like a territorial thing, you know.
Yeah,
there can only be one snake for like every 2. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you,
or something.
there's plenty more snakes to get through.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much. Got to get your whacking sticks out, fellas. As Bejay advancing on Dragon, a very good showing. All right, but it's not over yet. Of course, we'll drop down to losers. Going to see, and hey, if there's anyone who's going to be comfortable in the losers bracket, it's going to be Dragon after what they showcased yesterday.
For sure.
Fabulous work.
Saying that as well, the losers matches are going to be streamed on Smash Finland too. So if you want to see those, definitely get the multi-Twitch going. And I'm really happy that we're doing this as well, because it gives the player, of course, the VODs to watch back as well. Just going for growth here as well. You know?
I kind of want to. I really do wish. I kind of want to know how Snake players VOD review that.
That's a good question.
Like, what do you do there?
It's probably just more like, how good was I reacting to what is happening, right? How good was I at reacting to the grenade explosions? How good was I with my conversions? Because you can't really analyze neutral against the same character.
It is the thing. It is the thing. It's hard, especially with so many hitboxes like that. You know, you're basically playing casual Smash at that point. But advantage, disadvantage, it is all the great dance of Super Smash Bros.
Exactly so, and and that is basically like the question: how well did I use my tools to get out of disadvantage or to extend my advantage?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to see what we can do. All right, now we've got a little toy to use here on the desk, which is very exciting. Okay, we've got a little bit of a special something Hugo has set us up with. Okay, we have an interview system. All right.
There it is.
Obviously, we do want our very first winner of the day. We would like Bejay to come up here and join us, because I had those questions there, Schwartz. And, you know, I think I know the perfect person to answer.
It could be this guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to take the long way around.
Okay, he's going to go.
I was curious how that was going to work, because if they were going to come around behind us, I was wondering how many it was going to take before they just knock all the sheep over.
Well, we will never know. But we, as you can see, guys, we've extended the plushie collection as well for your viewing pleasure.
We have.
And we've stacked the sheep.
They have been well and truly stacked. I think we should get a couple more, to be honest.
Yeah.
As Bejay on their way as well. We're going to get our other players just to come up and get set up. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of questions to ask them.
Please over just a little bit to get this guy into frame.
Bejay, please, have a seat. Come on, sit down. How are we feeling, Bejay? How are we this morning?
Surprisingly well.
Surprisingly well?
Yeah, I was like, after the tournament, I'll drink it. Careful, I drank water.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah,
water is the solution for sure.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I mean, I've got a bit of a question for you, all right? Now, how experienced are you in the Snake Ditto?
Very.
Very.
Like,
a little bit close. It's all good.
In the Netherlands, we have like 6 snakes. One of them kicked my ass so hard that I tried switching main at matchup. Tried to bite through it, just learn it. And now it's just a matter of like, wow, I can just actually throw my grenade back.
Nice.
Never occurred to me.
Sweet. What would you say is the main thing you got to keep in mind when fighting another Snake as Snake? Grenades?
Yeah, literally the matchup is whoever dash attacks or gets enough damage. There are two factors: or get enough damage to fish up tilt, or dash Technikita. It's literally the matchup.
Nice.
Because we were kind of thinking, right? Now, if you would ever VOD review that, what would you like put your focus on if you VOD review a Snake did? Like, what do you take from that?
That's not really the VOD review. It's like, how well can you do those two, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
Right, like, why am I getting hit by this dash attack? Or should I have thrown this grenade like now or not when he's in my face? Like, really two things I have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
It's not to VOD review. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's a ditto, right? Yeah, so
exactly.
it makes sense, really.
Well,
Yeah.
it's good to know for later, all right? I very much enjoyed the neutral ping pong of PS2. All right, that was a great display.
It was very fun, actually. Because, like, he knew what he was doing, I knew what I was doing. And it was just a matter of, like, okay, please don't die already. Whoever is in the lead doesn't have to approach.
Right, as for the final question, would you agree that a dragon is just a big snake?
Basically.
Good.
There you go. You heard it
You're
first.
free to go.
We heard it first. All right. Thank you very much, Bejay, and well done on winning the first game of the day.
See you later, man.
See you very soon. Stay hydrated. Excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. That's the way to victory, all right? Beautiful
So-
stuff from Bejay, of course. As we're going to get into our next game, all right? Now, the prospective bracket has shifted a little bit, not too much. All right, we should still be getting our classic kind of players, and this
I
one
think
going to be very, very interesting. All right, we've got Sun versus Valu.
All right.
Now, Valu, if you had been watching yesterday, is someone we have seen already. Going to be getting into the game now. Going to be a nice little matchup, all right? A kind of vintage DLC.
Very much so,
battle.
yeah. It feels like so long ago that this character was brought into the game, but for both these characters, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Joker being the very second, I just remembered, after Piranha Plant.
That is true. That is true. The OG DLC.
Hell yeah, it's the best DLC, I will argue. You know, Piranha Plant